everyone. So glad that you are here and joining us. I am followed with my dear friend Elizabeth Hansford. Woo woo. She's my virtual assistant, and my life would not be the same without her. Say hi to everybody, Elizabeth.
Hey, everybody. How's it going? Glad to be here as always. And
No.
Joanne, I hope you know the feeling is very mutual. My life would not be the same without you. So I'm so thankful to be part of this community. It's been amazing.
It's been amazing for me as well. So I'm so glad that other people get that same feeling, being a member of our group. And I just want to let you guys know that today we are going to be talking about video editing. Now, I know that a lot of you guys are not even on video yet. Some of you are like, I don't want to be on video. You have a lot of fears towards video. We're going to be talking about that. And then I'm going to show you actually a clip towards the end. So stay to the end because you're going to want to see this. I'm going to show you a really awesome clip of somebody who just used some regular tools that they had to be able to edit their video and the awesome effects that they got. So you're definitely going to want to stick around to be able to see that. I want to welcome our wonderful friends that are inside of the community. We've got Joanne Bentavogel, Robert's in the house, Sherry is in the house. Woo woo. Who else is here? I know you can see our people in Facebook. We got lots of people in Facebook today, and a couple people inside of our YouTube.
Yeah, we have Robert, Sherry, Joanne. Those are all the people that have introduced themselves so far. So if you are in the chat on either platform, YouTube or Facebook, make sure to say hey and let us know where you're from and what you tutor, and we might be able to give you a shout out. So that'll be awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. We always love to get to know more tutors inside of the community, just because the more that you can network with other tutors, the better it is going to be for your tutoring business in so many ways. We can all learn from each other. We have so much information to be able to share with each other. And along with that, when we build these positive relationships with each other, that's one thing that can lead to referrals. Remember, we don't always want to stick to one thing, but today we're talking about videos, because videos are one way that you can actually be able to get students, but there are things that are holding you back. And I know that they're holding you back. So I know that's one thing that people will say, I don't like the way I look. Have you ever felt that way, Elizabeth? Like, I don't like the way I look.
Yeah, especially when seeing yourself on camera and all your little like mannerisms and everything that you don't notice when you're going through daily life, and they're just magnified on camera. It can be really challenging at first.
Yeah. And I would love to know for you guys, what is holding you back? So definitely write that on in. We want to know what's holding you back from creating videos. And then we're going to be talking about editing those videos. And we're going to move on into you seeing an example of a pretty awesome video. So really, really excited about this. But yeah, it's, sometimes I don't like the way my face looks. And there's a really cool hack, you guys, inside of Zoom. So if you go to video on Zoom, you can all try this. I'm going to play with the feature so you can see what my face looks like without it and with it. So this is called, if I go to video, it's under my video, and I can touch up my appearance. So here is me. This is what I really look like, guys. I have like a ton of freckles because I was in the sun. So I get a lot of these freckles, right? I'm not really a huge fan of having as many freckles over my face as I do. But watch what happens as I begin to touch up my appearance. You can kind of start to see them blur away. And now I have a clearer complexion. What do you think of that? Wow. Pretty awesome, right?
I had no idea about that feature.
You're like, I'm going to start playing with that. So that's a really fun feature that you guys can begin using. We've got Ginny in the house. Hello, Ginny. We've got Kokping Chung in the house. Dory. So glad that you guys are here. So there are definitely things that you can do, right? Put on some makeup. It's going to make you feel better if you're a girl. If you're a guy, you could put on some makeup as well if you wanted to. They do that all the time, like inside of, if you go on stage and that kind of stuff, they actually put on makeup. What I like to get rid of some of like that greasy kind of feeling that I have sometimes over my face, I actually just use a translucent powder. So it doesn't change the color of my face, but it will take away that oily look. And that will definitely help to be able to take care of that. The best kind of lipstick, I didn't actually put lipstick on today, but the best kind of lipstick I have found that works great is just a lip gloss. I find that people have like the best color lips. It just needs a little shine. And so it really like makes your lips pop when you do that. So another thing you can do to have fun with your background is throw in one of these great green screen backgrounds, right? It's a quick way to kind of give yourself a professional look without anybody seeing, your messy little background. And there's also the like the different things that you can add on top of your screen, like Elizabeth is doing right now. She's got those emojis that are on there. So those are just some quick little things, quick little hacks for those of you guys who are like me and maybe you don't like the way you look at certain times, and it will clear away some of those problems. But here's the thing. I know that some people say, I don't like being the center of attention. Like Viv Davenport had mentioned that in our Facebook group. I don't like being the center of attention. I get that. And so to be the center face of your business is hard. But what happens, Elizabeth, when people don't see us?
Yeah. So yeah, I was just thinking, if nobody can see you as yourself in your business, this is the one big advantage we have over the big tutoring companies, that people get to choose us as the tutor. And so people want to see you, they want to see your personality, they want to get to know you, like you, and trust you. And so video is an awesome way to be able to do that, so that people really get to see you for who you are, get to see your personality. And if you never show them that, then they won't get to see that. And so you're really missing out on that huge piece of being a solo tutor. So
yeah, and it's so hard. Like if you only stick to people who are in your zip code, it's kind of hard to really get a business up and going just with local clients. And so many people have experienced that over and over again. But if you've got access to the entire world and you can utilize things like video and get your face on out there, you can do it. My friend Max Pavlovsky, he loves this quote. He says, if you're scared, do it anyways. And it's such a good quote, right? Like if you're scared, do it anyways. So while you may not like being the center of attention, do it anyways.
yeah.
Get good at getting out there anyways, because you are going to be the number one advocate for your business in the beginning. As you begin to get clients, those clients will be able to speak for you. And so getting on video is just going to allow you to let people know that you exist, right? Because the biggest problem isn't that we can't teach or we can't tutor, it's that people don't know we are there. So really, really important stuff. Other people had said, but people will judge me. Have you ever felt that way?
Yes. Yeah, definitely. Especially when I'm a Spanish tutor, and I'm not a native speaker of Spanish. And so sometimes when I speak Spanish in my videos, I get nervous that, people will nitpick and judge about, different things that I say, or oh, this part of your accent wasn't right, or that kind of thing. But it's really important, I've decided, for people to see me speaking Spanish in my videos. And so I've had to kind of get over that aspect of it, for sure.
Absolutely. So. Absolutely. And I think some of the biggest fears that we all have is like people that I know are going to see this.
Oh, yeah.
Like, yes, you want people that but I know how fearful that is. Like, what are they going to think about me because I'm starting this tutoring business? Sometimes in our own mind, we almost think like tutoring is a lesser than profession. I make more money as a tutor than I ever did as a teacher.
Yeah. Oh, and I think for me, at least, I'm not going to speak for anyone else, but this is where that comes from, is that, we always saw tutoring as just the homework helper. And that can certainly be part of it. But tutors can do so much more. They can close the gaps. They can help a struggling student go from, D's and F's to, B's and A's in a lot of cases. They can, start a student off in a subject and start them on the right path. So I think that's a huge part of it. And to be honest, with the people that seeing it, seeing your videos and things, they're, to be honest, going to be your number one fans and supporters and sharers and all of that kind of stuff. So I know I can be really self-conscious knowing that my friends are going to see this and everything, but you want that because they're going to really help you out.
Yeah. Oh, good point that Kok Peng Chung just made. He said, I always thought it was an Asian problem because we tend to be more reserved. And now he
Mm,
knows it's a universal problem. It really is.
yeah.
It's about people being people, right? And we're always scared about like what people are going to say. What are our family members going to say? What are they going to think of us? What you know? And then we have those few people that do love us and they think they're helping us, and they give us the wrong kind of feedback, and it hurts our feelings. It's going to happen. But here's the thing, you guys. Don't let what those people say stop you for showing up for the people you were meant to help.
Absolutely.
Because when we do, those people that we were meant to help out, they're the ones that lose out.
Mm-hmm. And the people that are going to, you're going, once you get big enough, and I know you've experienced this, Joanne, you're going to get the internet haters and the lovely people that have no idea who you are, what you do, and anything about you that just happen across your things, and
Right.
comment nasty things. But I always, it kind of reminds me of the Dr. Seuss quote, those who mind don't matter, and those who matter don't mind, that kind of thing. um
Yes.
you know what I mean?
Yes.
it
Yes.
it it's like that, the people that you're really trying to serve, they won't see it that way.
Right.
So that's just my
Right.
2 cents on that whole thing.
Exactly. And, I just wanted to do like one of those Clubhouse taps just now. Like, yes, yes. We were joking about that because in Clubhouse, you get to applaud by like clicking that. There is a button somewhere in here to be able to like applaud. But oh my gosh, I so like that. And, I was watching a movie yesterday. It was called Heal. All
Hmm.
right. And it's all about like how you can use your mind to heal your body. And there's this one guy, he is a medical psychic. So he's able to like use his hands to find out what's wrong with you and then give you a solution that is more of like a healthy way to be able to cure your body. And the one lady said to him, she's like, "What do you say to your critics?" And he's like, "I honestly don't really come across my critics that often. I help the people that I'm meant to serve, and I ignore the rest. And so I don't really pay attention to that." And that is such a great mindset to have. Like, don't pay attention to what you think people are going to say. Don't let that one person who has one negative thing to say
Hmm.
distract you from being present for the people that were meant to hear your message.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Like you said earlier, the people that are going to miss out are your ideal clients, and those who are supposed to find you.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
so important.
Here's another thing that I find that stops people from wanting to make videos: not confident in my speaking skills. Oh, look at Elizabeth all of a sudden, like her whole face. Like, did you see that, you guys? Why did that happen, Elizabeth?
Because that is so me. Even still to this day, I still have to, fight with that and battle with that. Because I've never been a good public speaker. I've done different speaking things and everything, but I've never been great at that. And so, um, I'm one of those people, and I know we've talked about this, Joanne, that needs a script when doing a video for the most part. Um, when we're having this kind of a conversational video, it's much different, and I actually like this format a lot better. But when it's
Mm-hmm.
a recorded, video where I'm just by myself, I need that script. And so, I'm definitely one of those people that's very self-conscious about my speaking abilities and all of that. So I can definitely relate to that.
And there's things that we can do because of that. So, like you mentioned, like you heard Elizabeth mention, like writing out a script. A lot of times people think that they can just turn on the camera and just start talking. Most people can't do that, just so that you know. And when they do, it comes out as when you think of the next thing to say, it comes out as an or your periods come out as ums. So when you're done with the sentence, it comes out as an So you know that people don't like hearing a lot of and so that can be a distractor, and that's one of the biggest things that people think holds them back from being a confident speaker are all of those ums that begin to come on out of their mouth. And I have actually gotten to watch Elizabeth get better and better and better over time, and it's been so much fun.
Well, thank you. I appreciate
Yes.
it.
It used to take you a lot longer to kind of think and formulate your ideas.
Sure.
And now they're all there. I feel like they're all there. Like, you know exactly what to say, when to say. You may take a little bit more time because you're just a little bit more of that type of person, but it doesn't come out as an as often as it used to, for sure. I would say you probably have cut down on like ums by 50 or 75%.
That's really good to know. And it's funny because my mom kind of jokingly used to count my ums when we were talking in conversation at home. So clearly I've gotten a lot better, which is nice.
And how is that? Like, you keep getting on camera. I know that like a lot of us inside of our community, if they show up and they turn on their camera, they're getting used to seeing themselves on camera. And so they get more comfortable with that, because at first it's so uncomfortable watching yourself on camera.
Yes. And I purposely will go back sometimes and watch some of the early videos that I did with you, some of these YouTube lives that I did with you to practice hearing myself and also to kind of learn from my past mistakes and all of that. So that can be a really good practice for people to do as well, to kind of almost critique yourself, like, okay, how can I improve for next time, that kind of thing.
Yes. And you don't have to be done on one take. Like, you don't have to think like, I have to turn on the camera and I'm done in one take. It's okay to redo it. I would say that right now quality is more important than quantity, versus, I'm going to do as many videos as I can, but they're going to be crappy. You know what I mean? Like, it's different. Like, live streaming is a different beast. And that's what we're doing right now, versus like creating a video that you're going to put on your website, or creating a video where you're going to have like instructional content over time released out to people. That is very different. So I think it's important to know what type of content that you are creating and how you're going to give the message that you're saying. So if you don't know what to say, you can write an outline.
Yeah. Absolutely. And even for my live streams, which are more off the cuff and everything, not for like these kind of conversational ones, but if I'm just doing a live stream by myself, I still will do a sort of outline, or not so much a strict script, because I do want to seem more natural in a live stream and not, like I'm following a strict thing. But I will still do, okay, I'm going to talk about this, and then I'm going to talk about this. So at least I have a plan, and my mind doesn't panic and like, oh no, what was I going to talk about next?
Exactly.
I will panic, and you don't want to panic live. So.
No, you definitely don't. And I have here is like my notes. I just jotted them down. Like, here are the things that I'm going to be talking about today. Boom, 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 boom. So that we can make sure that we address them. And I may go in order, I may go out of order, but at least I know exactly what it is that I'm going to talk about. And it feels like it has that continuity to it. And it's something that people can watch and replay. But as we talk about like live, that could be one thing that you try to do, is just start doing some live stream. Get comfortable being on camera before you actually start going into like creating those other videos that you want to edit a little bit more scrupulously. So it depends on how you're using video. There's lots of different ways right now. But we are going to be sharing some of those tips on how you can make an awesome video using just a couple of tools that you already have access to. So keep staying tuned for that. We don't know what to talk about.
Yeah.
I think that's like one of the biggest things that people say is, I don't even know what to create a video about. Mm-hmm. So the good old go-to that people will go to for creating a video, and you know what it is?
No, actually.
The number one video that tutors will create is like how to teach this concept. Whatever it is, like how to learn this concept. Let's throw in that poor Pythagorean theorem that I always like beat to pieces. Those can be boring, you guys. Those kinds of videos can be boring for people. You'll see some people that have like great views, but other people who try to like take that type of content and do it again, those people that are looking up the Pythagorean theorem aren't necessarily looking for a tutor. They're looking for all of the information online that's going to be able to get them to understand the current content they have without having to pay for a tutor. So they're not in the mindset of hiring a tutor. So you want to think about, where is my ideal client right before they hire a tutor? What are they looking for? Okay. They might be looking for, what is the difference between an in-person tutor and an online tutor? I mean, that's a really easy one to create, right? Another thing that they might be looking for is maybe it's a certain program that they want to purchase. You know, maybe somebody's looking at hooked on phonics. Well, I could give my take on what is hooked on phonics, and I can play with that keyword because I can get found for that keyword. So you can think of different programs, different apps that they would be utilizing, and it seems like great content. So if I'm like, hey, there's this great app, here's how you can use it, I am now like being shown and seen as a expert because I know what I'm talking about. I know what's good about this app, maybe what's not so good about this app, things that you need to watch out for, price points, all that kind of stuff. And people will be really grateful for that content. And it's already stuff that they are typing on in. So different content, information about you. You know, just do like, hey, who are you? You know, what did you struggle with when you were a kid? This is going to let them see that you're struggling with the same things that their child is struggling with.
Yeah. How did you become a tutor, or what got you started down the path of education? What got you interested in it? All of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, stories sell, you guys. And I'm not talking about the story shouldn't sound like this. Hi, my name is Joanne Kaminski. I went to Marquette University and I got my first teaching job at the Milwaukee Academy of Science. I taught there for 10 years. I ended up getting sick and I wanted to be more present for my kids. Boring. But now take a look at how this is a little bit different. You know, one thing a lot of people don't know about me is that I struggled with reading growing up. And I remember my mom coming home from one of those parent-teacher conferences, and she said, so I was talking with your teacher, and she was mentioning that the area she's concerned the most about with is reading. And she suggested that I sit down and read a book with you. And I'd love for us to be able to pick out a book together and read it together. I'll read a page, you read a page. What do you think? And I said, oh, I love it. It's a great idea. So my mom and I, we would go into her bedroom at night and get all comfy and cozy inside of her bed, and we would read the book Anne of Green Gables. And for the very first time in my life, the very first time, I actually saw a movie inside of my head. I didn't know that this was even supposed to happen, but I remember seeing that movie, and I could see Anne Cuthbert going down the lane. And there were these trees that were flowering, that the wagon was going underneath, and I could just visually see that. And I began to really love reading, and I began picking up more books and reading books on my own. And it was just that one tip, but it really frustrated me because, you know, I began getting better at reading because I began to read more with my mom, be reading by myself, but they wouldn't let me take a Spanish class. And that really frustrated me because I felt like I was a pretty smart kid, but I just struggled a little bit with reading still. And because I didn't get a certain score on a test, they didn't allow me to take that Spanish class. And I felt dumb all over again. Like I wasn't as good as other kids, but I couldn't do it. Right? So you see how I'm like sharing this story, this experience that I had. So sharing relevant stories about you, but not like your path that you took for, you know, becoming a tutor, but your path of, you know, what made you fall in love with this whole idea, this whole concept. And you guys, if you dig deep enough, you'll be able to find those stories. Another thing people can create content about, success stories from their students.
Yes. Oh, I still remember one of yours that I read. I think it was on Instagram, and it was one of the most incredible stories I've ever read. And it was one of your success stories. So those definitely leave an impression.
They do. They do. It was like where I was able to take her from the beginning, what she was feeling, what she was experiencing, and then, you know, kind of the process that we went through, and then what was she like afterwards, and what was she able to do. And
the Harry Potter one.
Yep. And I have a quick clip of a video. This one, I didn't need to do as much editing back in the day. I could just like take a video and just like throw it on up onto YouTube, and people wouldn't judge it as much. But I have a video on there that shows how a kid went from reading 40 words a minute to 120 words a minute in one session. And so I show, like, you could see me, like, in the same clothes. I'm in the same background. Like, I didn't do, like, it's not a different day or anything. It's all happening in the same day. I did edit it out so that it's just, like, the main clips. Like, they could see, like, pieces of the instruction, but not get bored by the instruction. Because that could be kind of boring for people to watch that from beginning to end, right? So I cut some of that out, and then you're able to see, like, what she was able to do at the end. And that one is a highly viewed video that I have that people watch and people hire me because. So that's another great thing, that another type of video that you can create, that, you know, people seeing like what it is that you can actually do. If you can take them from where their fear is, like, oh, my kid's not going to be able to do this for the rest of their life. They're not going to get into college, not going to be able to do this. And they can see somebody else that's just like that. And they can see them getting results, and they see that you're the part of the solution and part of the answer. That is going to be great content.
Absolutely. Yeah. And one of the things that you and I did, Joanne, was we actually sat down and created a content plan so that I would know exactly what I could create content on, and we brainstormed different topics and everything, and that was extremely helpful. We looked up keywords and yeah, so doing something like that can really help as well, because then when you're you know, trying to create content but you're, you know, kind of stuck, you can go back to that content plan and be like, okay, this is what I can do content on.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, and that's very similar to like the writing process. Like for our kids, when they were in school, we would have them come up with all the things that they could write about, like topics about this and topics about that. So when they would come to it and they'd be like, I don't know what to write about, they could go back and refer to it. It's the same kind of a concept, so that you always know what you can create content about. And then you don't have to rethink things too much as time goes on. It's something that you can actually repurpose year to year to year. Like, okay, did I ever create content on that? No, I didn't. Okay, I can create content on that. Or I could take this spin on it. I could take different spins on topics that I haven't even addressed yet. And I think that can be really, really helpful. All right. The number one that people say they struggle with creating videos is finding time.
yes, finding time.
Yeah.
That's yeah, definitely.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
I say you can't find time. You have to make time. This is like anything. Okay. When you first start editing videos, it is going to take you more time to learn, but isn't everything?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely everything that you do in the beginning takes you more time to do. Okay. So once you get past that process, then what happens? You start getting faster and faster and faster. And then all of a sudden you're like, boom, 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 done. Okay, good. Or you can teach somebody to do it that doesn't know how to do it and pay a lot less than if you were to go and hire a professional.
Yes. Yeah. And once you know how to do the process yourself and can teach somebody, then that's so much better than, I mean, I feel like you almost can't, I think you've talked about this before. In fact, you can't pass something off until you know how to do it yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, and then and then there's always a lot of people that are really upset with like the results or like how things turned out because they wanted it to look like this and that was going to cost them more money in order to get that. And, you know, when you know how to do things yourself, it really does make a huge impact on your budget, for sure. Absolutely, 100%. And I do agree. It does take time, but it is well worth it. I'm going to share a link inside of here because this next week on Wednesday, I am going to be doing a live stream with Jessica Pizzol. Now, she is like, when I saw her very first video, I was like, holy cow, like she blew it out of the water. I was like, I've never had a tutor go through my Jumpstart program and just be able to do it like so well, like right out of the gate. And, I got into like how was she able to create such an amazing video with it being her first one. And she started sharing that she was able to do that because she took a course in college, and now she was able to utilize those skills and be able to create the videos that she creates. And you guys are going to get to see a sneak peek of that in a little bit. So stay tuned for that, because it is absolutely incredible. But we're going to be doing we are going to be doing a free webinar. It's called, what is it called?
How to, sorry, how to get more people hooked in the first 5 seconds of your video.
That's what it's called. Look at that. She's got all the answers. She could even like go down in her elevator in her house. For those of you guys that don't know, Elizabeth actually is in a wheelchair. So we get to just see her like utilize that awesome it's who you are. I love it. I love it. I love when we get to know each other just a little bit more. And all that great stuff. And
yeah, I'm sorry, I had to let somebody in. So
she's like, oh. Yeah, so we were talking about that whole like finding time. Finding time, it is going to be something that in the beginning you do have to put a little bit more time to. But anytime you learn anything new in marketing your business, you have to put a little bit more time into it. So you have to think about, is the cost of doing it going to be greater or less? Will I make less money because I am creating videos, or will I be able to make more money?
So much more.
Right?
I mean, down the road, because so many more people will be, sorry, I just got really excited. So many more people will be able to find you. I mean, no matter if you're doing YouTube, if you're doing Facebook Lives, like I've done a few, I know I've gotten clients from my Facebook Lives. And I've only done a couple, a few.
And I still get clients from my YouTube videos that I haven't created a new YouTube video for reading tutoring probably since 2016, I'm going to guess. And I still get people finding those videos.
Yeah, that's huge. And also, I think for you, part of it is that you, they see your other videos probably with your expertise that you're teaching other tutors, and they're like, oh, she must really know what she's talking about if she's also tutoring other, like coaching other tutors, which is awesome. So.
Yeah. And it could be, but I played that keyword game early on with videos and just started typing on it. I got my first student from Australia because of it.
Wow.
Because and it was like, it happened 1 month after I had created my video. That's a direct result of the video. That's not an accident, right? I have never created another YouTube like video for that, from Australia. I was actually like talking with a class in Australia. The video went out 1 month later. I get a request of somebody wanting to work with me from Australia, and it's never happened again since. Like someone from Australia, like reaching on out to me. It was because of those keywords that I had used that allowed them to get to find me. So it's definitely worth the time, because you don't know which videos are ever going to be the big hit. Sure. So, if you be consistent with creating videos, more and more people are going to see them. Another big fear that people have is nobody's going to watch them.
I mean, and to be honest, that's a little bit true in the which that's not a bad thing in the beginning, to be honest. And we talk about this in our Insider Secrets Club sometimes. That's not a bad thing, to be honest, in the beginning, because then you can get all of your mistakes out in the very beginning, and you can practice, you can make mistakes, you can have some trial and error, you can figure out your lighting and your sound and all of that. So I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. But people will see that over time you've made more and more videos once they start discovering your new content that's a little bit more professional maybe and better. So I don't think that's a bad thing necessarily.
No, it's all part of the learning process. In fact, I've left all of my videos on my YouTube channel for people to take a look at and see what did my beginning videos look like.
Right, absolutely.
Back in those days, I was able to do Google Hangouts, and it would go straight to YouTube, so I wouldn't have to like do a re-upload, which I loved. I thought that was really awesome. So I took advantage of that, and I've got some of those beginning videos like right there in the beginning. You'll hear like bad audio, you'll hear noises, you'll see bad lighting. Those are all things that I just learned over time. It wasn't like I learned them all at one go and bam, I just put them all into practice and I had the most perfect video. No, it was over time I learned those skills. And but you have to continue to, in order to hone your skills, you have to teach yourself those skills. And where do you teach them? You either take a course or you learn it from other people who are doing it. And that's where you have to decide, like, how much am I willing to invest to be able to learn this?
Mm-hmm.
To purchase some tools that are going to help me do it better? And how much money can it make me over time? If I get one client, but they continue with me for an entire year, it's $400 per month. That's $4,000 in 10 months. $4,800 in a year. $4,800 for one student. So one student that stays with me for an entire year is worth $4,800.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's worth it.
So worth it.
So worth it. And how much time did it take me? Even if I were to divide that out by, how many hours I would have to spend editing it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trading my time for money for that.
No.
I'm making way more money
mm-hmm.
from that one client than I would be if I were to try to, not do video. It's definitely worth it, right? What if I were to only get one new client every year?
It's the compound effect, right? We talk about the compound effect all the time. And it builds on itself. So mm-hmm. That's awesome.
And people want to research you. Like, this gives them an opportunity to be able to get them to see you.
Right. Absolutely. And they want to, I've had people, and I know you've had this experience too, Joanne, that have looked me up, found me, but have, watched things about me, read things about me for months before they actually click get a free consultation, Mm-hmm. So it's huge.
Yeah. And think about the times that you, like, all the people here, I want you guys to think about this, like all the people that you've seen my videos in the past, and then you joined Jumpstart at some point.
Mm-hmm.
How much exposure did you need to me before you joined Jumpstart? I'd love to be able to hear you, like, your comments and thoughts about that here inside of here. Like, how long did it take you before you joined? Like, how long were you watching my YouTube videos before you joined a program that I created? It could be Jumpstart. It could be, a smaller program. It could be you joined the Insider Secrets Club. But how long were you watching videos before? Because just know that, like, it's not like this overnight decision that people have. It's not like I watch, I take action, and I go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it's not. A lot of times, a lot of people, we talk about people that aren't in buy mode yet, mm-hmm. and they need to. Sorry, it's getting noisy. We talk about people that aren't in buy mode and need to learn more about you and get comfortable with you before even they have that free consultation. And so it's so important to have that online presence. Mm-hmm. The online presence is how much content, how many videos or blog posts or whatever are there about you online. And so it's so important to have as many out there as possible. Like you said before, quality over quantity, but
quality over quantity, but quantity does help when it's good quality. But the quality doesn't always have to be 100% either, because, like I said, I've been able to learn and grow through this process, and people have still hired me, even if I didn't have the most well-polished video out there. And I don't think that that's the expectation all the time when people are trying to take a look at, your things. But you do want to grab their attention, like, right out of the gate during those first 5 seconds. So we're going to be teaching how do you do that during our webinar that you definitely want to join. The link is above. Just check that out. We shared that about 10 minutes ago. So just scroll on up. You'll be able to find that link and be able to join that webinar with Jessica Pizzold and myself. Another thing that people do all the time, they overthink things. It's not perfect, so therefore I cannot do this. I can't push publish because I have this mistake in here or I have that mistake in there. Oh my gosh, I have so many things that I have. Sometimes I underthink things and I just push publish. That's probably my downfall. But people will overthink things and then don't push publish. It stops them. I don't like the way my hair looked. All right, we'll do something about your hair. If you learned that you like your hair a certain way, make it the certain way. You know a certain color looks better on you? Wear it. You know that there's some noise in your background? Find a time in your house where you know it is consistently quiet. Those are all things that you'll be able to take notes on and be able to start applying then to your videos. And people will give you some comments in the beginning, especially if you ask them to. They'll give you comments.
Absolutely.
Sometimes I have to tell people what kind of comments I want.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I'm always happy to give a feedback sandwich to people. So, you know.
So for people that don't know what a feedback sandwich is, Elizabeth, share what a feedback sandwich is.
So you give them one thing that's really great about their content or video or something like that, and then one thing that they could maybe fix or that's maybe to improve on, and then end it with another thing that's really great. So it feels really good overall. It still gives them something to fix, but it still, you know, it doesn't hit as hard as like, you need to fix your blah blah blah. So
yeah, when you ask people for feedback, they don't hear you. They don't hear what you really want. Mm-hmm. When you finish a video, you feel amazing about it. Like you did it. You feel accomplished. Like you are on Mount Everest. You're like, I did it. Like this thing was really scary and I did it. And then you ask people for feedback on it. Okay, and I'm going to tell you this is the part you're not going to like. So you ask people for feedback, and here's what you get. Did you notice that over on the left-hand corner there is this happening? Or did you notice that you said 25 times? Did you notice that 5 billion things that they were going to notice that you didn't notice? You were just really excited that you got it done, and you just really wanted other people to say, you did a great job. Well done. You got out there. You did it. Like, way to go, man. That's awesome. Mm-hmm. Most people aren't in the same mindset. They're like, oh, they want me to look for something that's wrong with their video. So when you say, I'd like feedback about it, they don't think about, tell me all the great things you saw of the video. That's not what they hear you say, but that's what you really want. And so there's a difference. So I think when you begin hanging out with people that know how to give a feedback sandwich, which is what we're going to create inside of the new course that Jessica is going to be starting. When you know how to give a feedback sandwich, you can feel like you're in a safe environment where people are going to notice the good things that you're doing and not just notice the things that need improvement on. Yeah. And you can use that feedback then, you know, if you get multiple people saying kind of the same feedback, you know, that's probably the next thing that you should work on.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's the thing too. If it's just, it kind of goes back to the random person on the internet kind of thing. If it's just that one person saying it, you know, ignore it. But if it's multiple people that, you know, care about you and want the best for you and want your success, then something to listen to for sure.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. And so it gives you that way to be able to handle that and take that a little bit easier. And I know that Beth has to head on out because she actually has to teach right now. But I'm going to queue up our video so you can see Jessica's video. So thanks for hanging out with us, Elizabeth.
Well, thanks. This was so much fun.
I appreciate it. Bye. Thanks for joining us. All right. So here we go, you guys. Here is Jessica Pizzold's video that she created so that she could share with you about our new webinar that we're going to be doing next week, absolutely free.
Hi, guys. My name is Jessica, and I am an online English language arts tutor and writing tutor. And I like making video content. If you're even a little bit interested in making videos, you need to do it. You need to get on board because it works. Personal story, I was contacted just a few days ago because of a video that I created on YouTube. The parent did not find me through my website or even through word of mouth this time. They actually found me because of a video that I created. But how do you go about creating a video if you aren't tech savvy and you think you aren't good on camera? That's why you're going to take this awesome webinar. You're a smart person and you know how to teach your content, but you might not know exactly how to capture the attention of parents and students who might actually stumble across your videos. In the webinar, you're going to learn how to properly and efficiently write a script for your videos. Personally, I organize everything into my Google Drive folder. Sometimes I write a lot of detail, and other times I just make notes on a post-it note and place that below my camera and start talking. We're also going to talk about good sound quality versus bad sound quality like this.
Hey, students. Hi, students, can you hear me? My name is Teacher Annie. I want to talk to you about... Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
If you can relate to that video, you might need this webinar. We're also going to talk about good lighting versus bad lighting like this.
Hey, guys, I hope you can see me. Is this good lighting? Oh, no, I don't think so.
Another important thing that you're going to learn is how to cut out every mistake like this.
Hi, parents. Are you worried about your child having a summer slump where they forget everything? Don't worry. This summer I'm offering what?
Here comes the power of editing.
Hi, parents. Are you worried about your child having a summer slump where they forget everything? Don't worry. This summer I'm offering an awesome camp June 1st through 3rd. Here's the information.
There are also tons of ways to spice up your video with free music. You can get this free music from different types of sources. This webinar is also going to show you guys how to save time, such as creating graphics in Canva that you can use in almost every single video. Not to mention graphic overlays like this one here or this one here. I think it's just fun to feel like magic, like... So in the meantime, how are you going to get started? The best thing you can do is to use some of your social media apps that you already have, such as Facebook or Instagram. Get on the little story. There's no commitment to those stories. Do you know what I mean by stories? Hold your camera up to a decent level, not up here or like down here where everybody sees your chin. Just start talking to that camera, because even if you only make 2 or 3 videos, your viewers, meaning your parents and students, will be able to see your confidence level. If they watch a video and you're looking off camera like this, like how awkward is that? Don't you want me to look at you right now? Yes. Use the story app, look right into the camera and say something like, hey guys, my name is Ben or Bobby or Sarah. Today I had a major win in my tutoring business because I taught little Alfred how to finally add 2-digit numbers. I'm so excited for him. Your student could be next. So look at my information below and see if tutoring with me is something that would benefit you. Seriously though, I can't wait to start working with some of you and helping you make your videos as awesome as they can be. Have an awesome day.
Isn't that awesome? And she just did that using the free tools on her computer. And I think that's the coolest part about all of this is when we're editing our videos, we don't have to spend money on the most expensive equipment. We can use simple tools like our phone right here, right? We can use this simple tool of our phone to be able to create our videos. You can use simple tools like Zoom to be able to create your videos. You can add simple effects like how to go in closer and closer so that you're constantly adding a little bit more depth to your video and it's not just you statically talking to the screen. And that will allow people just to be able to hold on a little bit longer for you to be able to do that. And she's going to be teaching us some more of these types of tricks on how to hold on to people's attention over time. So definitely click the link. I'm going to put a link right here and have you guys take a look at that. Sign up, join us to be able to learn how can you hold people's attention for the first 5 seconds of that video so they keep watching. That's going to really be important, because when people do that, it's absolutely huge. The webinar is going to be about an hour long. Usually that's about what mine are. If you are not able to make it live, make sure to still sign up so that you have the opportunity to get a replay. Great question. Thank you so much for asking that, Gregory. And again, I just want to thank you guys for showing on up. Some of this editing tools that we can utilize, she mentioned those inside of the video that you can utilize, where you've got the different like overlays that you can add inside of there. Take note of that, because those are just another way to kind of divert the attention of the viewer and keep their attention a little bit longer, instead of them having to just listen like you do live stream, as we are going along here. So hopefully you guys will join us and be able to learn more about how to edit those videos. Hopefully we've gotten you past a little bit of that fear of, why we aren't creating videos and what is it costing us if we're not creating videos. It's costing you a lot, because people want to be able to get to know, like, and trust you. And a video is one of the best ways for people to do that. You saw right out of the gate that Jessica Pizzold was able to get a student because of the time that she spent creating a video about a certain curriculum. When we are creating those kinds of videos versus the how to teach a certain thing, that is going to make a huge difference in what's getting found. So you guys, thank you so much for hanging on out with us. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we will see you hopefully at that webinar. Bye, everyone.